Amigas, amigas, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estáis? Bienvenidos a Track to Hell, bienvenidos a Traigo to Moshpit. Estamos hoy con Charlie Rolfe, cantante de As Everything Unfolds. Vamos a cambiar al inglés para entendernos todos, así que Charlie, welcome to the channel. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Hello.
How are you
The
doing?
most English introduction in the world. Hello.
Yeah. How are you doing? You doing fine today?
Yeah, pretty good. It's 7 o'clock, nearly dinner time, so just settling down for the evening and
Uh-huh.
chilling out. So it's good.
Perfect. So Charlie, As Everything Unfolds, which is a band that I particularly love. Like I saw you guys at Resurrection Fest back in, I think it was 2023 or 2024?
Yeah, I think so.
2023.
One of them.
Yeah, yeah. And you guys are releasing a new album, which comes on the 10th of April, which I had the pleasure to listen to. And like I said, you off camera, I think it's one of the best work that you have already. So Charlie, how do you guys approach the album? I know that you guys always talk about emotions and feelings when people go through different situations in life. How do you guys approach this one, and how do you guys feel about the album in general?
I think it's been like, I mean, this is probably the hardest album we've ever had to do, for a multitude of reasons. But I think that so we actually got these in the post the other day.
Uh-huh. Oh,
So I've actually held it in my hand, which is good timing because it's made me kind of feel a very different way about it, that I feel now like I've created an album. I
okay.
think that you spend so long, a lot of being in a band is just replying to emails, logistics, and, chasing people and making sure everything's on time and social media posting. And, you forget that you've created something important. And I think that when you hold something physical like this, you kind of go, yeah, I've made this. And we've addressed the fact that we've been through a lot in the last sort of year and a half, 2 years, individually and as a group. And it's I now feel proud. Like, I feel really proud of what we've been able to accomplish through it. And I think it's probably the proudest I will ever feel of us as a group, like, going forward. And we were, George said it best, like, recently. He said, this is the hardest album we will ever have to do. And then everything from now, if you feel like you can get through this, you can kind of get through pretty much anything.
Okay. Okay. That's super interesting, actually, and specifically about this album. I think that you guys are like, yeah, like talking about going through a difficult situation, like you said, but then trying to overcome, trying to affront reality, and then like the album, I think it says like a positive message in the end, like it's like a trip, so to say, with all the emotions and mixing with your vocals too, like with the clean singing and more screaming stuff, which I think it's even better this time. Like
Good.
especially the screaming stuff, I think it's, I don't know if you're like training for it, but it sounds better for sure, for sure.
I think we just did a lot of touring,
Yeah.
and I did a lot of practice through that. And after Ultraviolet, there was, I think it was 2024. We did so much touring,
Uh-huh.
and my screams just got better through that. I think because I was just doing it so much.
Uh-huh.
I tried to pick and choose, as I always do, like, where it felt right to kind of scream. Because, I think people always put us in this metalcore bracket as a
Yeah.
band,
Hmm.
which is so interesting because, like, we as a band have never really felt like we fit that label.
Okay.
Like, really, we bridge on metalcore. Like, yeah, we do breakdowns
Sometimes,
sometimes,
yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, we follow some of the tropes, but I wouldn't say overall that we are a metalcore band, and people tell us we're not, and we're like, we know, so the screaming for me is, I'm a big fan of Flyleaf. Like, they were a big band for me, like when I was sort of like in my formative music years.
Hmm.
And Lacey Sturm, I remember watching her do an interview, and she said something like about her using her screaming, because hers very similar, like it's very sort of few and far between. And she said it's only when it feels like it needs to be done like that, like it needs to be screamed, it can't be sung. It's like a visceral sort of reaction. So I've always sort of taken that as like an influence of, like, it has to be like that. When it has to be like that, we're not just doing screaming to kind of please people, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense actually. And Charlie, like you mentioned, and how would you describe As Everything Unfolds? Because I always say that it's like, let's say alternative metal, but like because it can fit almost everything, and especially not only in vocals but musically, you can feel like, yeah, the breakdowns of course, but then you can feel like a little bit of drum and bass. You can feel
Yeah.
like more rock music. You can feel like kinds of music. So how would you describe it? Like, do you think it's
It's it's so hard. Like I guess like it just comes under like if, it's just alternative rock, alternative metal, I
yeah,
guess, is probably the closest thing. Because, like you said, we've got drum and bass elements. Like Set and Flow is basically a drum and bass song with a
yeah,
bit of guitar in it.
it's awesome.
So
It's
it's
awesome. Yeah.
yeah. So whereas like Gasoline is a pop rock song,
Hmm.
so it's kind of like. Yeah, it's so hard, and we don't really care about like we
Yeah.
don't care if we're called metal, we don't care if we're called pop, like we don't give a shit. Like we're
Yeah.
just like we're having fun, we're writing music because we within our band have always had such a wide array of influences,
Hmm.
and that's what's always made us like a little bit more like interesting,
Yeah.
like and it's changed and evolved like as we've grown as a band. Like the music we were writing when we first started and what we were influenced by is different to now, but it's
Hmm.
still like I can't name you the last time like as a group we liked a metalcore band. Like when we are in the van or when we're getting ready for stage, I don't think we've played a metal song. Maybe like Lorna Shore when that To the Hellfire came out and everybody was like, you have to listen to this song.
No way.
But like, but it's just feel good tunes, like a lot of like old school stuff or EDM or like,
Hmm.
like a lot of nostalgic tunes, like, from the 2000s and stuff. So
Yeah.
for us, like pop songs, Robbie Williams is our walk on song for on
Hmm.
stage. We play Let Me Entertain You or the Darts song. That's
Uh-huh.
become another one as well. Chase the Sun. So yeah, we're a funny band like that. We don't, yeah, we just kind of write music because we just feel like it's the right thing to do for us.
Yeah, exactly. And there's an important thing in there that you can feel like you're as everything unfolds. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you have elements of everything, but you can feel like it's, for example, for Future Palace, which is like a similar band to you, maybe more metal
Yeah,
chorus in some ways, but it's
yeah, yeah,
the same vibe. I feel like they do whatever they need to do to express themselves, and which is
yeah,
the important thing. But yeah, I like
yeah.
that you guys can feel like, oh, this is as everything unfolds. It happened in Resurrection Fest. I was with some mates and stuff. They didn't know you at all, and they were like, okay, like it's interesting to see like all the mix and stuff. But even though we're in 2026 and everything is like, I don't know, mixing stuff, and like, for example, with all the rap now and all the, but you can feel like it's something special. You know what I mean? It's not
Yeah,
one of the alternative bands that sound each one the same way. You know what I mean?
yeah, for sure, for sure.
So Charlie, we talked about Future Palace, and you guys recently announced a European tour with them,
We have
with Luna Kills too, and the other one I can't remember right now.
defenses.
Defenses.
Yeah.
I haven't heard about them, but I'm sure that
No,
it's
they actually have been friends of ours for probably about 8 years. We've been playing shows with them for a long, long time.
uh-huh.
But they're doing the UK run because we're not doing the UK shows. So
Okay.
defenses
Okay,
are
it's the
filling in for
Europe.
us. Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah, we're a UK band not doing the UK run, but I promise there's a reason why. There's been a lot of angry comments about that, and
okay.
we've not done that for no reason. But yeah, I'm really excited about it. I mean, like we've done the song together, and me and Maria have always sort of had a good relationship, and actually with Manuel and Johannes now, like we're good friends. Johannes and Maria both came to our show in Berlin. Johannes was backstage with us. We were buying in Germany. There's this thing about like if there's like lost packages, you can like they put them in vending machines. And the boys were spending like €10 a pop on these machines, and Johannes was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna do it as well." So
Okay.
yeah, just getting involved in the stupid as everything unfolds things.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it's good. We've got a good relationship with them. We played a lot of shows with them, and yeah, we just good vibes. And when they said, "Do you want to do the tour with us?" we were kind of like, "Well, do you know what?" Like, and they've just signed to the same label as us as well.
Yep.
So it just kind of made sense, and we're doing it because it's like, do you know what? It's they do such great shows in Europe. They have such a great fan base in Europe, and people have been asking like every time because every time Future Palace announce a show or a tour, oh, when will As Everything Unfolds be on it? When? And we were like, this is the perfect time. It's the perfect time for both of us. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
I think it's awesome. Yeah, and I'm not one that was writing all the time, but I felt like it would be like a great tour to have, and like
It makes sense.
yeah, a lot of sense, and especially
Yeah.
now that you guys signed with Century Media, if I'm correct,
Yes.
which is
Yeah.
an awesome label here. And I really think that you guys will blow up with this one. Like I've been waiting like for someone like to be like, you know, really pushing for you, and I think that.
Yeah, no, it's been good. We've got a good team behind us. And you know we've got new management. It was quite a scary like album this like for so many reasons, but we also got new management, new label. You know, so there's a whole team that's new, and it's you know it's hard. And at this point, you know, we're releasing singles, and we're sort of like, oh, you know, like what's the vibe? And so once the album's out, it'll be nice to see how everything kind of materializes.
Talking about singles, you have one coming actually this Thursday.
I do. I do. We do.
Yeah, I
I was
mean,
like,
you do it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We do it. And it's probably one of my. I mean, I always say this is one of my favorite ones. This whole album is full of. I find myself going. It's one of my favorite ones to every single song. But I remember this single coming up on Thursday. Me and John pretty much wrote most of it. Just the two of us in one day. It was one of those ones that just kind of came out. Like John pretty much wrote like the instrumental. Like just sort of as a thing. And I remember sitting at his desk at his studio just with a 7B, just sort of like, you know, record it. And it just came out. And we were like, oh, okay. And I think,
right?
yeah, it just flowed. So it was a very natural song to write, which was really nice. Because some songs can be a little bit more tough to kind of tackle. And it doesn't mean that one's better than the other. It's just a different kind of process.
Yeah, especially talking about the whole album. I think, yeah, like you said, it's a process. And every song has its place. You know, like
Yeah.
So Charlie, we are from Spain, so I wanted to ask you a last question here. What are like 2 or 3 things that you love about Spain, or you really like about Spain?
So I mean, I went a couple of times on holiday as a kid. I don't have massive memories. I mean, it's a great place, like, you know, to go on holiday. But Resurrection Festival was definitely, it was very funny for us because we flew from just outside London. So we left the door at John's house, flew to Spain, which Resurrection Festival is not near an airport, by the way. It's very far away.
Yeah.
So it was a really long transfer. Yeah. It's ridiculous. And played the show, had some dinner, had a couple of wines because it was obviously like a nice summer's day. Yeah. Had maybe an hour's sleep, got back on the plane and flew home in 36 hours, I think it was.
Wow.
Considering I was
the transfer, it's about 2 or 3 hours. For someone that doesn't know, it's crazy. Like you went to the airport.
We did not sleep. I think there was about 4 hours sleep. I remember because on the way when we were leaving England, we all stayed at John's house. And I was like, right, I'm going to go and get like 2 hours sleep just so I can get something. And the boys were all sat there, you know, glass of wine. And they were like, yeah, well, you know, we'll go in a bit. I woke up 2 hours later to leave for the airport. They hadn't moved. So I was like, and I just went, have you guys gone to sleep? And they went, it's fine, we'll be fine. And they were. I think we all got a little bit of sleep on the plane. You know, I think it was about 3 hours or something on the plane. So you know, you kind of sleep a bit, and then at the transfer as well. The transfer was about 2.5, 3 hours. So it was insane. And honestly, it was the wildest experience. I thought I was in like a nightmare. The guy that was driving our transfer had 2 phones, and both of them, the ringtone was bagpipes. Really? Like Scottish bagpipes, and it was so intense, and they kept going off like at the same time, and I would be like, what the fuck is going on, you know? So it was so weird, but great. It was such a great festival, and it was so great. That was the first time we'd ever played Spain, so to come and play like a festival like that was so much fun. Yeah. So it'd be better if it was closer to the airport, I'll be honest with you. For everybody, probably.
Yeah. I've been there. This will be my 5th time there.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, and then you know, but it's.
How do you do it? Do you fly if you go, or?
And then I have some friends in there, and then they pick me up by car, and then we go there.
That's such a night. Mind you, it's the same for like Download Festival in the UK. Isn't really near. Oh, mind you, no, it is. It's probably you could go from like Birmingham Airport, I guess. But anyway.
Yeah, but you know, in Resurrection Fest you have this like the village that is called Viveiro, and I think it's awesome. It's an awesome place. You know, it has this magical thing, and when the festival is going on, everyone is like full of metal themes, you know, like everyone is
Yeah.
wearing
Well,
black
we
things.
stayed in the hotel. Yeah, we stayed in the hotel that was in the town, and everywhere had like stickers in the window of like we're friends of the festival, so
Yeah.
you could kind of come in. And I think we went and just got some food somewhere real quick,
Uh-huh.
and they were chatting to us because obviously we're English in the middle of the this place in Spain. And they were like, "Oh, are you a band?" And no, it was very friendly. It was very
Uh-huh.
similar to Wacken in Germany,
Uh-huh.
like the town of Wacken.
I've never been there, but
Everybody, yeah, everybody in the town is very involved in it. You know, it's like stickers on the window, like we, you know, we're part of it, we're
wear
involved in
things.
it. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's a very community thing. It's nice.
Yeah. So Charlie, it's been an awesome time. I think we talked a little bit about everything that we wanted. So thank you. Thank you for being here. I'm really looking forward to the album. And maybe I will try to make it to a concert in the European tour, but I cannot be 100% sure yet. But I would love to, actually.
Because we're not France will probably be the closest
Yeah,
show,
yeah. But
unfortunately.
if I have to take a
Yeah,
plane, it doesn't matter, France or wherever,
true,
you know, Italy or whatever. So
true.
yeah,
Yeah,
hopefully we will see you anytime soon in Spain too, which will be
yeah. No,
awesome.
hopefully.
And yeah, it's been a pleasure, Charlie.
Thank
100%.
you.
Thank you so much.